Patrice Lumumba. We always hear about Patrice Lumumba, how he was assassinated, but with most time we do not have most of the details of what happened. So I'm going to give you a little bit of history on Patrice Lumumba, not a lot, but enough for you to understand why we have to be firm against the imperialists, especially currently with our new revolutionary leaders we have now, including especially Ibram Chori. And we don't want to lose him like how we have lost so many of our great leaders from in the 1960s, 62 all the way come up. So anyway, so Patrice Lumumba gave a speech at the independence of the Congo in 1960, June 30th, after King Baudouin of Belgium. So I want to listen to this speech that the king gave at the independence and what Patrice Lumumba also said. But I was gonna translate it into English, but I decided, no, you know what? For authenticity, I want to hear the voice of the king, and we're gonna have the subtitle on the screen. So just read it, pause it if you have to, or slow it down and then read it so you can understand what he's saying. I don't want to. I want to hear. I want you to hear their word. I don't want you to hear my voice over the translation. So let's just watch it, and then you can see translation, and then you read it, and we can understand it together. Let's take a listen. Boom.
L'indépendance du Congo constitue l'aboutissement de l'œuvre conçue par le génie du roi Léopold II, entreprise par lui avec un courage tenace et continuée avec persévérance par la Belgique. Elle marque une heure décisive dans les destinées, non seulement du Congo lui-même, mais je n'hésite pas à l'affirmer, de l'Afrique tout entière.
So there you have it. That was the king's speech. And you see the audacity he's telling they must continue what they have put in place because it's with great tenacity and decisiveness and all this. And King Leopold is one of the greatest. King Leopold II killed, well, unalive, over 10 million Congolese. That's what they admitted to. But according to Professor P.L.O. Lumumba, who is our activist, a lawyer, and a revolutionary, he also stated that it was closer to 15 million they unalive, not 10 million as they claim. And this is the person they want to keep at the head. He was the head of the army. His name they had at the army base, King Leopold II. And they even after independence, they still had all the Belgian soldiers still running every sector of Congo at the time. But now we're gonna play what Patrice Lumumba said, and this is when they decided, you know what, we have to take him out. But take a listen to the speech that Patrice Lumumba gave, and also again for authenticity, I don't want to voice over it, so you're gonna listen to him he's speaking French, but again subtitles. So read it, and then we're gonna dissect it. Take a listen. Boom.
Combattants de l'indépendance, aujourd'hui victorieux, je vous salue au nom du gouvernement congolais. À vous tous, mes amis, qui avez lutté sans relâche à nos côtés, je vous demande de faire de ce 30 juin 1960 une date illustre que vous garderez ineffaçablement gravée dans vos cœurs, une date dont vous enseignerez avec fierté la signification à vos enfants, pour que ceux-ci, à leur tour, fassent connaître à leurs fils et à leurs petits-fils l'histoire glorieuse de notre lutte pour la liberté. Nous avons connu les ironies, les insultes, les coups que nous devions subir matin, midi et soir, parce que nous étions des nègres. Qui oubliera qu'à un noir, on disait tu, non certes comme à un ami, mais parce que les vous honorables étaient réservés aux seuls blancs.
Trop souffert dans notre corps, dans notre essai de l'oppression colonialiste, nous vous le disons, tout cela est désormais fini.
So that was Patrice Lumumba. So you see the reason why they cannot have this man around because he lit a fire. They expected the speech to be about praising the Belgium, praising King Bodo what the fuck is his name? King Bodwan. He wanted Patrice Lumumba. And that was the original thought that he was gonna give a scathing speech about the Belgians and they must love the Belgians because one of the prime ministers before Patrice Lumumba spoke praised the Belgian king and King Leopold. But Patrice Lumumba went the opposite direction. And you can see, right there in the video, you can see where the king leaned over and was talking. That's when they stated he decided to take him out. So anyway, let's fast forward to how this happened. Patrice Lumumba, after there was unrest in the Congo because the Congolese black soldiers were saying we cannot take orders from the white Belgian officers. Still, after we have independence, so there was a mutiny and a whole thing, and then it caused like clashes. So Patrice Lumumba stepped in and stated, "We're gonna fire all the Belgian officers and then promote all the black soldiers." So the one he put in second in command, his name's escaping me. His second in command at the time, Patrice Lumumba did not know that he's the person he put in as the army chief of staff. Um, he was a CIA agent and also a agent of the Belgian um no, no, it was like the CIA for the Belgian. So he was basically a double agent. He working for the CIA, working for the Belgian, and giving them news on Patrice Lumumba. So he's one of the person who arrested Patrice. Fast forward a little more, he's the one who was responsible for arresting Patrice Lumumba. He was beaten. He was started for days, and when they finally took his life, they drove him like 18 hours away out of the city to some bushes. The Belgian officer who analyzed him. But before we get to that, also let me just give you this one little nugget. Patrice Lumumba stayed quiet since his arrest until they took his life. He never said one word. He did not utter one utterance. He stayed quiet because he would not give them the satisfaction of it. Anyway, they analyzed him in the bushes, buried him in a shallow grave, him and two of his other compatriots. Then what they did, you know what the Belgians did? They said, you know what? We cannot afford to have a burial site or him to be ever found his body. So they dig him up and they put him in a drum of acid. It took 2 days for him to be totally dissolved. But the police officer who analyzed him took his tooth. I think one of them was a gold tooth, and he stated in some book that he has perfect teeth. Anyway, he took his tooth for souvenir, and that is what the Belgium actually turned over a couple years after, decades after, to the daughter of Patrice Lumumba, and he was buried there for at his 60th anniversary of his death. They laid it to rest. But my point is, you see the brutality of which they did Patrice Lumumba, from torturing, beating him for days, bury him in a shallow grave, dug him back up, and put him in a bath of acid to dissolve. And he and his other he and his other two friends, they did the same thing to them. So this can show you some of the brutality that our black people went through. And keep in mind, King Leopold unalive over 10, well close to 15 million Congolese. And this is a man they want us to hold up as a hero. This is what they're portraying King Leopold as a hero. But yet, they are denouncing the other guy from Germany who only killed like 6 million. Sorry, he's one of the worst human beings. I won't call his name because they will demonetize my video or block it. So the German guy who unalived 6 million of those other people. That's the worst crime in history. But King Leopold II took 15 million lives in the Congo. Not only in the Congo, in overall in his tenure, in his rule, it was noted that he unalived over 20 million Africans in all, 15 from this Congolese from the Congo alone. Even though they're only accepting So they take the lives of 10 million, which is false. So you can imagine the horrific ways in which they analyze our black brothers and sisters. And for now, modern day people are still colonized. The mindset is still in this. No, we must forgive and forget what they did. Do you know what it's like to take the lives of 10 million people? The other Germans, people who are living in Germany, the Jays, they have their own laws against it. You can't even say some things about them, but we who lost over 15 to 20 million African black brothers and sisters, we have no law, no protection, and it's still going on today because what? We even have some of our own politicians today still doing what Patrice Lumumba um, friends did to him while they're working with the CIA. And this is not my words saying he worked with the CIA. This is documented proof. This is not me just bringing it out of the blue. It is documented that the CIA was working with the chief of staff of the army in Congo against Patrice Lumumba and also with the Belgian. They collaborated with the Belgians to make sure to take him out because they didn't want and they didn't want Patrice Lumumba vision to come to fruition like what Abraham Traore is going through. 'Cause he have 19 attempts on his life. 19 attempts on Abraham Traore's life. Can you imagine that? In 3 years, 19 attempts. So my point still remains. This is one of the reasons why the Congo is in so much disarray from since the 60s because what? They turn on their own and they work for the imperialists against their own brothers and sisters. And this is the reason why they will never see, and I would not say never. This is one of the reasons why they won't see peace because they still have the blood on their hands for Patrice Lumumba. Still. Because they're still not coming together. If the Congo can just come together, they need a leader that they can inspire them. Because just like Abraham Traore, Patrice Lumumba inspire loyalty. He did not use force. He did not use um threat because he was naturally a leader where people um where we have people drawn to him. 'Cause even during his arrest, they had to hide him because the people were still trying to fight for him, some of his people, because he was still loved. But this is one of the reasons why he said we have to protect Ibn Traore, president of Mali as well, Tishani, and president of Niger. I forget his name. Anyway, you know them, the three Sahel leaders. We have to protect them at all costs. Also, Professor P.L. Lumumba is another one. We have to look after. Um, Uganda's president Museveni, he's one of those that's actually for his people and not against his people. Who else? Um, I like the new Ghanaian president John Mahama and the president of Botswana, the new president. I forget his name, but he's evading me. But we have some of these people we have to protect today to make sure that we are literally decolonize the minds of some of these people and move away from the imperialists. Anyway, so let me know what you think about this in the comment section about what they did to Patrice Lumumba, the way they took him out, the way they treated him, alongside with some of his friends, and why Abraham Traore is on such high alert to the day. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section. If you like this video, as always, tell a friend, like, comment, share, subscribe. Boom.